This is the video I was talking about, that Drummond. Check it out. Obama does he could make a rapper in another life. As soon as he's done, he could take care of that, the rap game. But you know whose rap game is super strong? Sports producer Mike Foss back in the control room. He's always coming up with the fresh takes.
I can't compete with that.
You can't. You can. I believe you.
I can't compete with that. I can't even sing that because then we got to pay for that. We can't afford that on this show. We can't be paying for Drake on this show. That's too rich for our blood.
We need to get Drake on here. We'll tweet out to him.
You work on that.
What are the people saying?
Hit him up over All-Star Weekend.
If Michigan State is in the Final Four,
come back with Andre Drummond. Hey, well, we're going to go ahead and get into what the people are saying on Twitter. As always, the Lions stirring up emotions, especially with that decision to bring Jim Caldwell back for a third season. We'll start off with Jeff saying Martha Ford obviously calling the shots. This was not a good first move for Quinn, if otherwise. Stephen Elsey says, let's get Caldwell some more weapons to use. Let Calvin go pick up a faster, more aggressive receiver. Give the team 3 years. Josh says Caldwell is a great, quote, leader of men, but bad at clock management. Why not hire a coach for game strategy / clock management oversight? Randall says the game moves too fast for Caldwell's in-game managing skills. And we'll throw it back to you guys with a question from Ryan. Does Caldwell coming back make Calvin less likely to maul retirement?
Well, I think, Herman, you got to take that one.
I think at this point, Calvin's going to make the decision that Calvin Johnson makes. It's not going to be about whether or not Coach Caldwell tries to entice him to come back or his teammates. This is going to be strictly a Calvin Johnson, knowing that whether or not he's going to be able to bring the right Calvin Johnson back to this team, because he knows how important it is to have all the guys on the team going at the same pace. And if he feels that his body and he can't do that, I don't see him coming back unless he feels he can be a major contributor to that offense.
What's your gut?
My gut is that I don't see him coming back. I think if he was, I think he'd already said that by now.
Yeah. As far as clock
seems to be the right.
yeah,
Most people are thinking that
Could be wrong.
Calvin's probably played his last
maybe
game.
he
But
shocks us.
the further that he gets away from the season, who knows?
A lot of people, when they think about the Jim Caldwell decision, they always go back to the clock management, the timeouts, the 10 men on the field. Those are the 3 or 4 things that get thrown out there right away. I mean, is that on him at the end of the day? I mean, yes, he's going to take responsibility for it, but is that his direct?
It's his call at the end of the day. I think he's got to do a better job. I mean, look, we saw yesterday in the playoffs that Jim Caldwell is not alone with having some of these issues. And someone had mentioned on there, perhaps him bringing in some sort of advisor to help with some of the clock management issues. He had somebody, Jim Tressel, back in his days with the Indianapolis Colts. He had him for a year. Sort of helping with some of that. Look, he needs to get better at that. I think there are some things that he can do better. We saw the 10 men on the field penalties, the Hail Mary at the end of the day. But the Lions, I think, whether bringing him back was the right move or not, I think the Lions, this is a big year for them. It's going to set up as a big season for them to whether they can take the next step on the field.
Bruce Arians should be under some heat for that Hail Mary that got to
Andy Reid should for how the Chiefs played those final minutes of that game.
Yeah, coaches in the NFL, all of them make the mistakes. Bill Belichick, one of the best ever. He even made the coin flop 2 weeks ago. Well, not last night when it didn't flip. It didn't flip. We're reflipping it. We're reflipping this show. After this break, we got our final thoughts coming up on the Suburban Ford 7 Sports Tape. Stay with us, please.